Yo, what's going on, ladies and gents? So I'm making this video. I'm getting a lot of emails, people saying, please tell me the blueprint. And I'm noticing a lot of people don't have revenue to pay for private sessions and things to that nature. So I said, you know what? Because I'm a Libra, because I like to pay it forward, I'm going to give you out this free information on what I do and what my blueprint is in order to sell stocks, day trade. Now, I'm giving you this. I'm not going to send you anywhere. I'm not going to tell you to buy anything extra. What I am going to ask you to do is like, subscribe, and download my new game, Got 420, which will be in the description box for all Android users. Sorry, iPhone, still working on yours. Now, other than that, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. 3 stocks I told you to buy in the last video I made was, sorry, not buy, but download. 3 stocks I told you to download was the Robinhood app. And if you don't have that app, there's a link in the description box. The Penny Stocks app is called Penny Stocks. And the third app is called Yahoo Finance. I pretty much described it in the other video, but I'm going to give you a quick recap. Yahoo Finance, if you grab another tablet, another phone, it doesn't have to be on, just needs Wi-Fi access, you can download the app and utilize it as you're selling your stocks on your other phone or your main phone. So it's very important to remember. So Yahoo Finance allows you to see the stocks live and direct right there and then. The second stock is the Penny Stocks app. That's the app that I use to download the list of, not even download, but I use that app to find my list of stocks that I'm gonna utilize and watch to make sure which ones I use, which ones I don't use, which ones I like for the day. Because what you might like today, tomorrow might not be the best one to choose. So just keep that in mind, people. What else is there to know? Let me switch arms. This arm is getting tired. So let me get back to it. So I told you about the Yahoo Finance. I told you about the penny stocks. That's where you're going to need to find all your list of stocks. And the Robinhood app is where you're going to go to actually trade the stocks that you find. Now, from A to Z, this is what I do. Pay attention. First things first, I go into the penny stocks app and I click under $1. I click over 500,000 in volume, and I'll click gainers. Once I click the gainers, I write down the entire list of gainers. Then I go into the losers and I write down the entire list of losers. Those 2 lists that I write down in a separate notebook. You should have a notebook for stocks, a separate notebook. Keep that in mind. You should have one. So ultimately, I write down in that notebook. Then I go into the Robinhood app and I pretty much add all those to my watch list. I go into the menu, with a main menu page, and then I click in what they say, like the find tab or whatever the case may be. I'll click in the little 4-letter code or 3-letter, word code of the app, of the stock, and then it will pop up. I'll click the little circle to the right, and then it adds that to my watch list. Once I do that, I am good to go. It's on my watch list. I do it for all of them. Once you do that for all of them, you're going to have different stocks to look at. Out of all those stocks, I pick 3 stocks that I feel like I'm ready to use. Now, this is the nitty-gritty of what you need to know. How do you pick the stocks? I'll look at the stock. What's the most the stock has ever went up to? What's the lowest the stock has ever went down to? And where's the stock price at now? Once I know those information, I also look at the volume. What's the highest the volume has ever been, and what is the volume at now? It's very important to know this information, because once you know how much the volume is, that's how much people are buying and selling stock. That's why I pick over 500,000. The more volume, the more money you get per sale. Very important to remember. Next, make sure you are utilizing what's the lowest it's ever been and what's the price at now. Because if you look at where the price is at now, and if it's at, say, 13 cents per share for the stock, and you look at the lowest it's ever been is at 12 cents, that's a good price to buy it at. Because if you buy it at that 13 cents, you could ultimately allow that money to go up. Now, you're going to see the highest it's ever been, so wow, this could really get high and I could really make a nice flip off of it. So very important to remember. So first thing you do, you look at the stock. So you're going to do that for each stock. You're going to look back into the week, to the month, to the year, to watch the graph. Has it been going up? Has it been going down? If it's really showing a downward momentum, not saying you can't make money in it, because you can, because even if it's going down, it'll go up and down as it goes down. So as long as you buy when it went down and sell when it went up, you still win, even though the stock is gradually tumbling down the hill. So there's things that you really need to know. So once you have understanding of, okay, the stock was at 11 cents now, the lowest has been as 9 cent. Okay, perfect. So what I do in pre-market, which is between 9 and 9:30, I look at that stock. I'll say, okay, that stock that's at 9 cent is pretty much slowly going up. Now let's say it went up to 13 cent a share now. I say, you know what? It went up. Let me look at when it happens in opening. When it goes to opening, it goes up a little bit more. Let's say to 15 cent a share. I'll buy. So now let's say I have about $150 in my account. What I'll do in my buying power. Now keep in mind, guys, I only use free stocks that Robinhood gives me from promoting my link. I do not use my real money. I've never used real money, and I've made real money. Keep that in mind. So I've gotten my free stocks up to $500, and then with that, I utilize that free stock. Those free stocks, I sell them. It goes into my buying power. Once I have it as my buying power, it's a wrap from there. So I use that money. I buy as much shares as I can, and then once I watch the stock go from down to up, it can happen in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I sell. If I'm using the Yahoo Finance app, I'm using another phone or another tablet in another hand. If I'm using the Robinhood app itself, I'm not looking at the graph. I'm looking at the numbers underneath the graph. The graph changes every 5 minutes. You can't afford that. You look at the numbers underneath, that's almost in real time, and it's going to show the stock going up and down. Even if you buy it and it goes down, don't worry, because within the next minute or two, it's going to go back up. Once it goes back up to beyond where you bought it, you sell. Once you sell, you're going to have that profit. Even if the profit is 15 cents, don't worry. Get in the habit of winning. Keep winning. That 15 cents is going to turn to 30 cents. 30 cents is going to turn to $1. Get in the habit of winning. Once you keep winning, you're going to make money. You're going to keep pushing your link so you can get free stock, or you're going to put in real money. It's up to you. But once you do that, you buy low, sell high. You watch where the stock price was at the low point. You see where it's at now. You watch it in pre-market. If it goes up, if it goes down, what it does. And if you like where it's at, you buy it, and then you sell it at a certain point that you feel comfortable. Do not get greedy. It's not going to go up forever. So sell it at a point and then watch it go down later on. Hopefully you can do that every day, at least every other day, because you get 3 times a week to do it. Once you do that, you build your portfolio, you build your buying power. Keep building it. Don't just keep throwing the money in your bank account. Let it rock in Robinhood as your buying power, because this is the money that's going to allow you to change your stripes. So that's pretty much it. You pretty much have the Robinhood app. You use the penny stocks app to find all your stocks. Once you take those stocks, you put into your Robinhood buying power. You put into your Robinhood watch list. You ultimately watch it. I usually pick 3 out of all those stocks that I've downloaded the night before. I pick 3. Once I pick 3 from my watch list, those 3 I go into the next day and I look at them and in market pre-opening. So the pre-game, the 30-minute pre-game, that right there is what I focus on. And those 3 apps, and I see which one of the 3 is looking most lucrative to me. And then once I see that, even if it's going down, it could be going down in pre-market. If it's down to the point at the lowest point it's ever been, I'll say, you know what? Let me watch it. And then in opening, it might go up. I'll buy it right there. It goes up, I sell, and then it goes back down. I'm a winner. So that's the easiest blueprint and way I can pretty much articulate it to you. You buy low, you sell high. You watch the lowest it's ever been. You watch Where's that now? You buy low, you sell high. Now keep in mind, the low point it says, it can go even lower than that. Just because it says that's the low point doesn't mean it can't create a new low point. And just because it says that's the high point doesn't mean it can't create a new high point. Also, you can set limits. Within the app, you can set limits for how much you want it to go down. So you could set it that, hey, I don't want to lose more than 5 or 10% of my money, and it will sell the stock at that price once it goes down there. Or you could set limits to the high point and say, I want it, once it hits 10% of my money, sell. So if you have $1,000, 10% will be 100. You get the picture. So something to think about when there's nothing to think about. Fredo knows best. Like, subscribe, and download my game if you have an Android. Got 420. Something to think about. Once again, people, I love you all. Fredo knows best. Money making Mitch, and the slogan is everybody eats. I think you know.